Hello guys, welcome back to Photographics Academy. So today we are transforming this particular one right here, and trust me, it's going to come out really beautiful. This is the background that we're going to be using over here, and I'm very sure that the background is going to look so great on this particular one. It's not wasting much of your time. Let's quickly get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do on this particular one is I'm going to definitely crop it, and looking at the background I want to use, and I want her to be perfectly fitted, and I also want to see the background the way it is in my image. What I'm going to be is I'm going to give it a lot of headroom, right? Something like this. Sorry, we'll have to stick that back in. Good. Let me give it space. So just have to give it so much headroom. Make sure you change this back to content aware so that it fills up automatically for you. Good. Now the major work. We have to clean up this background. If you look at it, it's so messy and so busy. So what do? The most important thing is that we need to get everything on it totally cleaned out. And to do that, there are a few ways we can go around it. We can actually use brush and fix these ones. So now I need to tell you something. All this that we are doing, we can actually do in very few seconds using AI, right? I'm just doing it manually because of for educational purposes, and of course there are people that may not have access to AI tools, but basically you can actually get all of this done in few seconds, highest 1 minute, using AI without having to do all of the stress that we're doing. So if you want to learn exactly how to use AI and do exactly what we're doing, just go through some of our videos here. We'll have videos dedicated to that specifically, but for this particular one, we are using manual method. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a selection on subject. Very important, right? Very important. So once the selection is made, I'm going to select inverse, or without selecting inverse, let's go to select modify and expand. So I'm going to be expanding it with by 10. Now the reason I'm expanding it is because I want to make sure I protect the shadows, right? Once you do this, make a duplicate and cut her out. Maybe create a mask. Let me make it a double duplicate and create a mask for her here. So this mask over here obviously just gives us the shape of the lady. Of course, if we turn all of this off, you will notice that we'll still have a bit of the background showing up at the edges, but that is not majorly a problem. The most important thing we want to do now is to take care of this background. So the next thing I will do is that I'm going to select the object again by holding my control and clicking on this mask. Go to this one. So this is where our background is going to be. I'll go to select. Even without going to select, I'll just fill it up, right? So I'll just come over here, go to fill, content aware. So this should be able to take away the lady from this background. So if I turn this off, you notice we'll have the background without the lady, which is very important because we need to fix the rest of the places. Now that we have her out of the background, we need to fix all these blemishes. So all these distractions rather, I'll use my lasso to make a rough selection around the good area. Just like this. Go around, come up, do it here. So I'm going to minus this area. Okay. I don't want to have this light stand in my selection. Good. Then for these areas that are remaining, we need to fill it up. Beautiful. Now select inverse. Then go to your edit, go to content aware fill, and wait for it. So it's going to look at what we'll have here and try to fix the background we'll have here. So you see that all the distractions are gone and it's basically okay. So if I press enter, it's going to take it away. This is what we'll have now. Of course, we need to merge it together because this is the one you use to patch it. So we'll just merge these two together. Merge layer. Then go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and just blur it out. So what this is going to do is that it's going to give us a very clean background. So if I turn this back on, we see what we have, right? You see what we'll have right there. But I think before we do the blurring thing, we need to take care of that edge first. So I'll just reload this selection and merge everything up again, merge visible. Right now we have the selection, but the selection is not where we want it to be. Remember what we did initially was that we expanded by 10 pixels. So if we contract by 10 pixels, we should have it back on her body. Good. Just a simple common sense. Then use your polygonal lasso tool to just, fill up these areas that are remaining. Do same over here. Do same over here. So I'm just taking time to make sure I have a good selection, because from here onwards, the selection is going to be very, very important. So once the selection is done, make a duplicate of your main background layer, right click and go to layer via cut. So you have your object on a separate layer again and your background on a separate layer. Hold your control, reload the selection, stay on the background layer, go to filter, go to blur, go to Gaussian blur. So we have fixed that issue that was showing up right there. I will still have our background perfectly cleaned up. So this is what we have. Now we need to bring in the background we want to replace the original background with, which is this particular one over here. Pick up your move tool, unlock the layer, and just drag it over your object. Place it right here. Very good. Beautiful. So you see they're able to retain the size and everything, and it looks really, really perfect. Few things that we need to do is to match her with what we have in the background, the lightening and all of that. And once we get that matching, it will look like she was here originally. So I'm going to change the blend mode of this background to overlay. So the reason I just changed to overlay is so that I can make sure I restore the shadows the way I want it. And I like that light effect directly over here that is separating her from the background. So we're going to create that manually. I'll come to my original background and create a mask for it. Use my brush to restore my shadows. So you can just do before and after to see exactly the way your light was in the original one and see where your shadows are falling. This one. So I would have just restored this light over there, the one behind her. But because it's going to bring back the roughness of the background, we are going to leave it. However, we're going to create it manually. So use your curves or use your gradient. Make sure you set it to radial like this. Place it right in the middle. Reduce the scale. Reduce the scale. What do we have here? Okay, casting, change that. Reduce the scale. Beautiful. So you might want to leave it pure white. You might want to put color on it. So I can just change the blend mode to soft light. This is what we'll have before and after. And maybe duplicate it ×2. Create a group for it. Beautiful. And of course, create a mask for it if you want to reduce the effect on it, so it doesn't spread everywhere. So this is what we'll have. Now you can decide to color it up, but I think I like it the way it is whitish. Right? I think I like the whitishness of it. Okay. So I need to move this towards the head area. Should be somewhere around here. Beautiful. So if you wish to change the color of your own, just go ahead and do that, or I'm going to leave mine like this. So I'm noticing on the edges of my image there are a few areas that we missed. So if we come over here and create a mask for it, put up our brush. Because we're working with a blend mode, it makes it easy that we can just, use our mask and clean those edges, and it will still be very realistic, because even if the background spills into it, it can also serve as color cast from the background which also makes it absolutely gorgeous and, most importantly, very realistic. Okay, so once this is done, I want to check one more thing. If I create a black and white adjustment layer, it's going to allow me know whether the luminosity of my object and the luminosity of the background is matching. Now, from what I'm seeing, it is matching, right? My object is not brighter than the background, neither is the background brighter than her. Although I need to push up her skin tone a little in color so that she can stand out. All right, to do that, I'm going to make a duplicate of this layer over here. I think I'm going to remove this. We do not need it. Then create a mask for it. Go to select, go to color range, and select her skin tone using sample color. So we just need to get her skin tone out. Although I know some part of the dress will enter because of how close the skin tone is to the color of our dress. So this works for me. Press enter. Use it and create the mask that you need. So we'll have the mask. Use your curves and use this mask to replace the curves. Now, if I just brighten it up, it's just going to stay within that skin tone we're selecting. I think I need to view it from far so that we can be able to know when it's standing out and when it's not. So I think this works for me. This works perfectly for me. I go closer to make sure that every area that needs the light is getting it. So I need to clip this to the object layer so it doesn't spill to the background. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to do is to create more like the last thing, but may not exactly be the last thing, is to create a global color grading using our color lookup table. So I'll just go through everything. I like the way this green looks on the image, blends everything in. But let's see other options that we'll have. Oh, wow, this is good. I like this. I'm going to stick with this. Create a stamp visible layer, Ctrl Shift Alternate E to create a stamp visible layer. That go to your filter, your camera raw filter. So inside my camera raw filter, I'll just increase my shadows slightly. Maybe a little bit of the highlights for her face to pop out a bit. Then I'll go into my my calibration and just pop up the saturation. Right? Just pop it up. Come back to our vignetting and vignette the background like this. So that when you look, the first thing you see is the lady. And of course, I'm going to warm it up a little bit because of the warmness of the lights from behind her and all of that. And if you're using a newer version of Camera Raw, you can even create depths in the image. You can tell it, okay, blur this part of the background out a little bit for me, but I think I like exactly the way mine is, so I'm going to stick with what I have. And that is basically how you transform ordinary looking image into something very, very spectacular. Let me show you the overall before and after of everything we've done. So this was where we started from, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this was where we started from, and this is how much we've been able to do. The before, the after. Before I leave you, if you notice, I did not scale my object down. Rather, I used my cropping to make it appear smaller so that it can fit perfectly into this background when we bring it in. So in compositing your images, always make sure that you see the final result in your head before you even start with the work. That will allow you know exactly what to do and when to stop. Thank you so much for watching this amazing video. Do make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you subscribe, click on the notification bell to get notified every single time we drop a new video. Until then, see you on the next one. Peace and out.